I want to talk to you about pruning a hydrangea. Now this has been cut back and it's had all the old flower heads taken off, but as you can see the plant has got bigger and bigger and bigger, to the extent that you can actually see that you can hardly get up the path. I often get asked how hard can you prune hydrangeas and when to do it. What it means doing, it means sacrificing some of the flower for this year, but you will also get a lot more growth coming up from down below. When the stems go this sort of silvery colour, they've been around for a long time, and you can actually get in and go really quite hard in the pruning, right in underneath if you can, because then you can actually get in there and cut it right the way back. So it means sacrificing these flower buds. So I'm going to, because it's overhanging the path, I'm going to be really quite brutal, cutting it right back in the base here. Actually, I've just found that was an ash seedling, which I've just cut out. Right, so get in right underneath. Don't be frightened about cutting these back. They do respond really well. And what you want is a load of new stems to come up from the base to replace these old ones. It will reinvigorate the plant. So again, I'm cutting some of these back quite hard. So these old, gnarly old stems are the ones you really want to get rid of. They've lost their vigour and there's no real strength, and it won't produce any flowers to speak of. And these crisscrossing ones, they're rubbing as well. So you cut that right out. And as you can see, all of a sudden, you're opening up the path again. And with the thicker pieces, oh, there's a Daphne I've just found tucked in underneath here that's in flower, which I didn't know was there. So I'm just going to get these dead bits out, which just snap off. See, there's nothing there at all. I'm going to get the loppers in a second. Just going to cut a bit more above my head. And because you're going in underneath, you're actually sort of making the plant look as though it has been butchered all the way over. So now, I don't know whether you can see that here, there's some little buds that are breaking here, so you can actually cut back to those and that will regrow. And the same with that one down there, and this one across here, and this one just down there. And then this little Daphne Mesoerium with its purple flowers, highly scented. I've just got to cut another bit off there because the hydrangea had grown through it. We're going to open this up now, make more of a feature of the Daphne, because he's been lost for a year or two. And what you'll find over the coming months, you'll get a load of nice new stems coming up from the base of the hydrangea, and they'll be a different colour. They'll be brown, this sort of colour just behind the Daphne. If I can pull that forward gently, that's a nice new stem. That's what you want coming from down in the base of the plant. I'm going to have a sniff. Oh, fabulous. Daphnes and scent in a garden is so important. Whether it's roses or Daphnes, any scented plants, just love them. There we are. We're looking a bit more ship-shape and Bristol fashion. As you can see, I've been pretty brutal with this, and you can see the piles of detritus. I haven't quite finished yet. While I was working my way through it, apart from finding the Daphne, I found a sucker of quite a large ash seedling. It's been cut back a couple of times, but now it's time to get rid of it. And you need a good sharp spade to get in underneath this. So I'm actually going to go in and cut through the roots. It's right next door to the hydrangea. If you leave it, if you don't cut it out completely, it'll regenerate. You just keep cutting it back. And there we go, all out. Self-sown ash any ash tree, very, very fast growing. The roots are very, very thirsty of this tree, so they will take an awful lot of moisture out of the ground for this hydrangea. Hydra, in the name for hydrangea, means a love of water. So this is a mop head hydrangea. There's one of the old flowers just coming up from last year. So what I've done is I've taken out an awful lot of the dead out of the base. This will now actually throw up lots of new stems from around the base of the plant. Again, these dead stems, there's a few more bits and pieces I'm going to cut out with the loppers just to finish off the severe prune. These are old stems, are the ones you want to cut out right at the base of the plant and take those completely right out. And these old knuckly things like this, this one here, and then again, as you want to put a good mulch of compost around the base and a little bit of fertilizer, even just grow more. It doesn't have to be anything special, and that will actually encourage more stems to come up. So this lot would all flower on the top come sort of June, July time, and then you'll get another surge of new growth, all these nice red brown stems. You'll get all that coming from the base of the plant, and those will actually then produce flowers again late in the summer, perhaps September, October time. So that, in essence, apart from these last few at the back here, is the job done. So out that comes, and you can see it's a completely different plant to what it was. It's brutal, but it's needed, and the plants will show you later in the summer what it looks like in a few months' time. Et voila, sorted.